there, brother?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yes,
great.
we're here.
I
Definitely.
yeah. So like I was telling you, I believe it was the park, the connection at the park, because my phone wouldn't connect with you either. So
Right.
I had to make that 2 mile hike here to the hospital from there and get a good strong signal.
Right.
We won't be interrupted again. So
Exactly. That's what it was.
apologize to everyone about that, but things we go on. And
That's right.
thank you, brother Lance, for holding it down. And I guess we can pick up where we left off, or you do the explanation of your banner again, and then we can flow from
Yes,
there.
yes.
And
It's almost
yeah,
like a boxing match where there's a delay where the fighters have to wait around 10 minutes when you come back.
a
You're
low
not as
blow.
I was warmed up a little more, but yeah, I just want to explain it for this particular segment. This is the same
Okay,
show that we did before without the problems, without the interruption of the weak signal where you were. But I'll put the banner back up and I'll explain
okay.
it. And maybe it might not be explained as good, but you know, going along with
Maybe
the
that.
title, planting, germinating, harvesting. What season are you in? The original title was flipped. It was what season are you in?
Hmm.
Planting,
Hmm.
germinating, or harvesting.
Hmm.
And so I meditated on that,
Hmm.
and I already knew pretty much what direction it was going through. So I had to come up with a visual for it. So I wanted to represent us as a people all over the
Hmm.
world. Now we can't have every area of expertise represented in a banner. It wouldn't make sense. So I have four black African men on the banner, placing a British flag in African soil while they plant, allow things to germinate, and eventually harvest, meaning that the season that we're in, not just there in the motherland, but all over the world as melanated people, that someone else is benefiting from our resources and how we cultivate our resources. And when they appear, they're snatched for somebody else's profit. Pennies
Mm.
on a dollar, next to nothing, to the point where, this oppressor, this overseer sees us as his property, even though we have political levels now where they act as though they respect us. It's not that way. They feel they own us wherever we are. We are their possessions. We are their birthright. And whatever we plant, whatever we cause to germinate and eventually harvest, it's theirs. It's like the
And then they
person
have the
who
nerve to
borrowed a
ask why
tool from
Africa
you.
is so poor.
Exactly. They're giving everything away. And the leaders are compromised. They're slick. See? So it's like that person who borrowed a tool for so long that they felt like it was theirs, and you have to ask for it back. And when they give it back, they have an attitude
Right,
because they had it so long. You
right.
see? And we just give ourselves up into the system of subservience because we've been taught from the school systems all over the world subtly that this is what we must do. And through religion and the imagery of a Caucasian person that's going to bust through the sky and he represents God, then we see them as God. So it's nothing to give to the masters to let them have what
Fact.
they rightfully own because we look up to them. And they have us believing that they brought us civilization and they brought us an advanced way of life.
Yeah. Your,
I don't know
your
what's going
voice is
on with your
fading,
phone, brother.
Lance.
Say it
Your
again.
voice is fading. Your voice is fading.
I'm here, but your screen
Okay.
went black and there's a lot of static on your side again.
Uh-oh. How about now?
It sounds like it's raining hard over there. It's a lot of static and the screen is black.
The screen is black.
Yeah, I
I
can't
see
see
my
you.
I see myself and I see you.
Right, but I don't see you.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That that's crazy. Now that's crazy because I'm looking at myself here and I'm looking at you.
Mhm.
but you guys can't see me.
Right.
It's not buffering.
Right. It's not buffering.
There is.
I can hear you.
Wow.
Static is.
Yeah, because your voice just went like 2 volumes down.
Wow.
So, well, as long as you can hear me, it's cool, huh?
Right. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So I can't see you. I'm gonna run to get some water. I'm gonna put the banner over the screen so
Okay.
they can hear you and everything.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Continue on, brother.
Okay, I will.
All right.
So, again, greetings to the family. One of the things that I've learned about life is that you have to make adjustments. I'll tell a little quick story before I get into the presentation. Uh, when I was coaching, when I was a JV head coach, I we were getting beat by a team that I had scouted and came up with a game plan for, but for some reason, it was not, our kids weren't implementing it at the time. So at halftime, my point guard came to me. He said, "Coach, they're better at this type of game than we are." And none of the players had ever said that to me because, I always had the game plan. And I looked at, no, first he said, "Coach, I need to talk to you alone." I said, "What do you mean? Talk to everybody here in the locker room." He said, "No, I want to talk to you alone." So he was my captain too. So we go off to the side. He said, "Coach, we're going to lose this game if we keep playing their game. They're better than us at this game." I looked at him. I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, they're running a double split post instead of the single post that, we were used to." And it was true. In practice, we set up because all of their games that I saw, they ran off the high post split. So I said, "Okay, we'll make a little adjustment here." So we made the adjustment and we end up winning that game by about 12 points. And so the moral of this story is that sometimes things happen to teach you a lesson, and you can learn from a baby. And he was so happy. He was hugging me and said he didn't know if I would listen to him or whatever. And so you just have to make the proper adjustments. So now that we have, and I understand that I'm kind of blocked a little bit here too, but one of the things that Lance was explaining about this situation where we have a foreign flag on black soil, okay, one of the things that I learned about planting, germinating, and harvesting in the seasons and the cycles is that there is also a season of time. And when you look back in time, over the last 3,000 years, you look at these great empires that have risen and fell. And there was one common thread that always ran through their fall. And that was that they embraced what we'll call anti-humanistic values over the Me'atan laws and the values that we are supposed to expound. And each one of those empires throughout this season of time fell because they went this way instead of that way. Okay, so we always know that we're faced with the law of polarity, and one of the things I was telling Lance, what I was so proud of, is that our people now are seeing the weapons pointed at us. Not only are we seeing it, we're responding in the right way, and that is that you are a nation by default with a $2 trillion purse. Okay, not very many countries can say that. Okay. So now it's just in the direction that you're planting your seeds that actually determines not only the germination process, but also it determines the type of harvest that you're going to have. So the other thing about this is why I ask the question, what season are you in? Because this question doesn't just apply to you individually, because you are connected to a higher power. So that's why you see people who even reach a certain pinnacle of social economic status, they're unhappy. Because everything in nature teaches us that when you plant a seed, it is for the purpose of nourishing the nation. Okay, that is in nature, that is its sole purpose. Okay, so when you violate that, then the germination process takes longer. And in some cases, 500 years. Okay, so that's a seasonal time, which is like, global events. The second thing is that when we lived according to natural cycles and seasons, then we didn't have to worry about where the food is going to come from. Okay, we didn't have to worry about things like this. We didn't suffer from so much anxiety and stress and diabetes. Okay, we knew that if all we had to do is follow the natural cycle and seasons of the earth, and that act alone brought about the abundance that we see in the lands where black people are. Now, like Lance was saying, and we see here on the banner, that doesn't guarantee you, because we live on a planet of abundance, make no mistake about that. But because of the greed of men and women now, because of the hatred and visceral racism that has always existed wherever these imperialistic acts took place, that our people had to suffer through the fact that someone else now has taken over your land. The same thing happened here. We know about, the land that was taken from our people and stolen from them. One of the things that I do on the weekends, I watch a good movie just to help prepare for you guys. And, the last video we did was about Medgar Evers. And although I'd seen several documentaries about Emmett Till, I've never seen the movie Till. And let me tell you, the young lady that played in that movie and the guy that played Emmett Till did a marvelous job. It was a well put together movie that was based on real historical events. And when you look back at that, that was the first time, and it was all during this era from 1955, because it was Medgar Evers that actually picked her up from the airport when she went to Mississippi to go to the trial. And him and Willie Evers were there for her and her father, who went with her to Mississippi. And when you look at the strength that it took for this woman to show Emmett Till to the world, that took a lot of strength and courage. But it was necessary because it was the first time that white people had to look at the actual evil and wickedness associated just because he whistled at a white woman. Now, mind you, this had been going on for centuries, but we never had a visual presentation of this. So I enjoyed the movie, but it also made me look at the fact that one of the things that now I'm bringing this here because we know that we also have the same situation here, okay, where the land was taken A flag was established, and it was used against our people to take everything away for the manifest destiny. And so this has always been tied, okay, to their idealism or Christian nationalism. And so they don't feel the type of remorse you feel, okay, when you say Jesus, okay? And I think our people are starting to come around and say, hey, look, this is some type of okie doke, okay? And I always say to our people is, Yeshua will exist, okay? Don't get it twisted, because the name that they use is separate from the one of the real personality that existed. That's all I'm going to say about that. Now, let's get to planting. So, based on the cycles and seasons of the earth, the time that you're supposed to plant, okay, to get an ideal harvest is in the fall. And so, when you're planting, that's your focus, okay? If you watch a farmer, oh, and that's the other thing too now. This is why the farms, metaphorically, are shut down. There is not going to be any planting, okay? Now, there are different times based on the type of seeds, different seasons that they're planted, okay? One of the ways, as in everything, they splice up the organic and the original. But the reason why they can grow tomatoes, now think about this, in the wintertime, is because they went and took a fish, okay, from somewhere in a cold region like Iceland or somewhere. And they spliced this fish open and put the gene inside of the inorganic tomatoes, okay? So this allowed the tomato to be able to handle colder climates in order to grow. So the point is that everything natural now has been altered because you are connected. You are a part, this rhetoric that you hear at the deeper level, it is a war, the creator versus God war that's going on. So you gotta get this in your head. They worship a God, which is an image and a worship that was created by man. The real creator doesn't need anybody, and creative spirit doesn't need anybody to give it value. It's here. Okay? Now I'm gonna say something that's gonna probably be a little controversial, but that's the whole point of this inspiration, revelation I got concerning this subject. We are entering into probably one of the most significant seasons for Black people in the last probably 700 or 800 years. I'll say that again. We are entering into a season, into the fall. Because see, the plan was, or is, to cut you off from food sources that are in grocery stores. I saw this a year ago. And the thing about this is, where it's going to get our people is, we're going to have to depend on the fast food industry to feed our children. Now, every plant, everything that has been planted in the last 500 years in America, as it pertains to our people, we have to cut down those trees, okay? We have to cut them down and plant new seeds. And those new seeds have to reflect our reality. You can no longer try to live in the reality of other beings, okay? That is not going to work. If you do, the sun is going to be your enemy as well, okay? in a spiritual sense. So now you have to go back, get the new seeds, and then you have to plant them. Okay? Because this season that is coming up, this spiritual season and psychological season and physical season that's coming up, it's going to be like no other that we have faced. Because now that you have faced the beast head on and they know you're not afraid to boycott their useless Chinese products that the Chinese already told you is worth 2 cents, and they have bamboozled trillions of dollars over the decades from our people. We know now, and we see now, that we have always had this power, just like when Dorothy tapped her heels, and the witch, the good witch in the movie, said, well, you always had the chance to go home. You just wasn't aware of it. So that's why we're in the season that we're in right now. I want to caution our people not to go out on a limb with this emotionalism. Let those people who are doing that, let them do that now. We have to focus on the new seeds that we're planting, because the germination process after we plant these seeds, we're going to have to stand strong. Okay? Because they're tearing down all of your support systems. Okay? Because they want you to go out in the street and commit a crime. This is a crimogenic society. And all of the constituents in America are compromised. So when they call you a criminal, they're talking about themselves. Okay? The criminals that a crimogenic society has produced. Okay? I don't even like to use the word criminal, because that's something that they, like all the things that they make negative, that they attach to our people, which we know is false. Okay? Because our people don't have the ability to fly drugs in this country or guns, okay, into our neighborhoods. We know this. So let's stop with the okey doke and let's look at this squarely in the eye. Now, the other thing that's going to happen when you plant these seeds, like in nature, nothing's going to happen unless they're watered, okay? So unless you are committed to watering things that pertain to black folks, then you can plant the seeds in the best fertile soil you want. We know this because all of the major cultures and civilizations that have lived around the great bodies of water, such as the Mississippi here and the Nile River and the Cleveland, they knew when the banks of the river flooded that was the time to plant. Now, because we're in electromagnetic warfare, all of this is symbolic, okay? But also it's physical reality, because they are, even though the chains may not be on, but in a sense they still are. But you can break the chains. That's easy to do. You just got to get your head out of these uploads and start talking about things that's going to empower our people to come together. Okay? So, again, this is going to be a difficult period because we are so used to being dependent on these systems. And the whole purpose for Project 2025 is to take these systems away. And now, what? You're on your own. The jungle mentality, survival of the fittest. So, I'm not saying there are some things in the system that you still have to operate. You know, you still have to be in touch with it. But your focus has got to be on planting these new seeds. Now, we can't plant these seeds in unfertile soil like we have before in the music industry, which every time we plant positive, because all you got to do is go back and listen to old school music, and you knew that we had great musical prophets like Marvin Gaye, like this my boy Curtis Mayfield. Okay, we had great Linda Jones, where our people sung and talk about loving each other. And make no mistake about it, okay, we will not germinate if we don't recapture our natural love for each other. Forget about all this stuff these people have been telling you and have created. It's time to change the game plan. Like that story I was telling you earlier. Okay, it's time to change the game plan. And we have to make the proper adjustments. Just like when a quarterback goes up to the line. I used to love this about good quarterbacks. Peyton Manning was one of my favorite with this. When you got a guy that can read defenses and make audibles on the field, that's a gift that to a team that, you can't put a figure on that. So now we have a situation where we're going to have to go through another germination process because we got to cut down all the trees of this system that have controlled our people, like Akibalon is doing now. Okay, it's going to be hard. I'm not saying it's not going to be hard. Okay, but now, because you are the chosen ones, because you are the original seed of the plant, the original fertile soil, these things are naturally happening in the spirit realm, but there are people trying to keep you disconnected from this download because that's the only way that they can control you. So, this is something I don't want people to get confused with. Our people deserve the best of everything. You work hard, you plan hard, and you get things. I take a little different approach to life. I like to, when I plant, I like to germinate. I like to stretch the germination process. Because, see, fiat is not my goal. Okay? And I'm not worried about that because that's going to happen naturally. Because, again, we live in a world of abundance. But that abundance starts here and here. But your chakras have been invaded by parasites. So this new harvest that's going to take place is going to be the game changer for our people. Or like the Isley Brothers song, Harvest for, when will there be a harvest for the world? There's another song I used to love. I can't think of who the group was, but there will never be any peace until God is seated at the conference table. And it's talking about you, okay? Because your chakras is set up after the creative spirit of the universe. That energy flows through you electromagnetically, okay? But you're on a different Wi-Fi. Thank you, Chris. You're on a different Wi-Fi signal, just like I was earlier. How that was interrupted, and I couldn't do anything about it until I came to a new place to plant a new seed. Thank you. That was good. That was good. So now we're looking at, you got to get over this vitriol hate, okay? Let them spew this. And I often ask the question, okay, you have now 100% of the resources, which includes the political and judicial aspect as well, and the presidency of the United States. Why are you mad at black folks? This makes no sense until you look at this from a spiritual aspect. Because in their heart of hearts, they know what season it is. It's your season. And there is nothing here on this planet and no one that can stop it. I don't care how much they take away. I don't care how much they threaten our people or say black people are criminals. I don't care what type of unrighteousness you claim to try to say it's righteous. Nature don't lie. Okay? You can't get oranges off of an apple tree. So what's going to happen when we cut down all of these trees that we have been, because if you go back to the picture that I showed in one of our videos I did with Lance, where you see our ancestors in the trees. And I often say that one of the biggest things that the religious elite did to our people is put them in buildings where they're shut off from nature, from the sun. They're shut off from the water, because we used to sit under a tree. Our griots used to teach us about a riverbank. Now, our people, through our genetic memory bank, still held on to this in slavery. They actually worshiped by the rivers. They did the baptisms by the rivers. But you couldn't be baptized in the same river as white people. Many of you knew that. So now, because they understand and comprehend that that's the only energy that they have over us, they're going to increase this hateful rhetoric. That's going to continue. Because to me, it's pathetic. When someone has to degrade a human being based on their false conception of what spirituality is, which has nothing, even the God that they worship with the J names that our people love to regurgitate so much, they have blasphemed what they said about him in their own scripts. But it's not their scripts, but their interpretation and the plagiarization of the scriptures. But in that sense, the attributes that they attribute to him are still like in reverse. So at some point, you're going to have to cut the umbilical cord, because you're not going to be able, and I'll never forget something that Dr. Kojo told me that really hit me deep. I mean, this hit me deep. This was about maybe, I can't even think how long ago, a couple decades at least. But he said that you'll notice that if a baby is still attached to the umbilical cord, they're not going to survive out the womb too long. So inevitably, by nature, you have to cut that umbilical cord, because the season of, the 9 months in the womb, that season now is over. That umbilical cord that you depended on for nourishment and for everything is cut. Okay? Everything that you needed to survive outside the womb has been planted in you. So now begins the germination process. But the biggest thing, before I get to the harvesting stage, and we talk a little bit about seasons. Now, a season technically is a block of time that certain things are expected to happen in nature, in agriculture, or even in the lives of a person. Okay? So you can't separate nature, yourself, and the seasons and cycles that exist from who you are. Because that's why that power continues to be over you. And the only way that you're going to get over that power is to cut that umbilical cord, plant new seeds, and then begin the germination process. Because what they're waiting to see is, because in the germination process, they're going to be fighting against you as well. That's why you can't keep saying this ninja ain't ish, or I don't care about this. They got you in a demonic way of thinking, particularly with the self-hatred, okay? And in this germination process, much like the cocoon experience, you're going to have to start shedding off, okay, those things that have kept you in this germination period for 500 years. Now, let's get to the harvest. When this harvest takes place, you're going to see it. Not only are you going to see it, you're going to experience it. But you got to be connected to the right Wi-Fi signal. If you're still 80% of you are still dependent on the system and, our open enemies who defy our people and degrade our people and tear down everything we've built, then that's on you. But if you connect with other like-minded people that look like you, it doesn't take a whole lot, okay? But we've got to begin this process because, like one of our prophets told us 50 years ago, 50 plus, winter is coming in America. Gil Scott. It's here. And that winter is going to be like nothing else you see. And I'm not trying to be a prophet of doom. I'm just, I get signs from nature. And then I look at our people who are supposed to be the ones controlling the energy of nature, how we still have these chains on that now we have to cut. So if we do this, and one last thing about this too is, if you plant separate seeds from different, say, fruit or vegetable, whatever, in the same soil, those roots are going to reject each other. It's gonna create some kind of chaos in that space. Okay. So that's why when you find your purpose, then you are very, very important to our people. Because you realize that your purpose is not what can be some award some Grammy that can be given to you. Because all of the Black Grammy winners, they're brought down. And see, this type of enviousness and jealousness, this is all a part of this pan-European harvest that is now recycling. Because when you look back over history and the history of Christianity, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of people that have been killed in pan-European wars. And that's happening right now, okay? And unfortunately, our people are caught right in the middle of it. We're not the only ones, but we are the default pneumonia, I should say. The ones that we know if you have a cold, if America has a cold, we catch the flu. Now, the one big difference in a Kibalon and here is that there is you have a situation here in America where Black people as a default nation and melanated people still are like 80% dependent on these systems for our survival, unless we create new systems. And we know in the past, every time we create new systems, they attack us violently. but yet they call our people criminals. There are so many incidents in history. Over 100 black towns flooded. One of the most famous ones is Oscarville or Lake Lanier. All of the towns that were burned and people shot and unalive. We know this history. So we see the same energy returning, okay, with the strange fruit. Okay, that's another signal to our people. So I just want to leave you with the fact that the season we are entering in is probably the most important season for us in 60 years. I go on record to say that. And there are a whole plethora of reasons for that. But the energy is here. We know who our opposers are. Like Muhammad Ali said, you my opposer when I, try to do something. Okay, so until you are seated at the conference table, there's going to be destruction from the Netaru coming in the form of hurricanes, floods, fire, okay, earthquakes. Trust and believe that's going to happen. It's been happening. It will continue to happen, okay, until your harvest time is here. And I'll end it with that, Brother Lance. I don't know if you're still around. If, let me see. Let's see. Yeah, so.
Yes, sir.
You there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
you
yeah,
can hear me?
okay. Yeah, I can barely hear you, but I can hear you. You guys can hear me, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay, great. Yeah, so this is a good topic that we discussed today, because we know now these uploads and the final thing I wanted to say is, if I degraded your people, called them just above animals, called them criminals, never once do you say anything about any type of vicious, I want to say the word killers, but unaliving of our people. You act as if they're animals. We know why you do this, okay, to devalue our people. But there is a force much, much, much greater than you that you're going to see, that you're going to wish. You're going to be running the black folks' house, their churches, and in your own scripture says that you're going to be running for the hills to fall on you from this power. But there'll be no place to hide. So stay strong, family. Brother Lance, keep the belts, man. And I look forward to talking to you again next week.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it, brother.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention real quick about the children's book. I just wanted to share something with you real quick.
Yeah, sure.
So I told you one of the reasons why I waited is because what people don't realize is it takes a lot to have books printed nowadays on purpose.
Yes.
And I waited for the last 6 months until I could find a company that would print the books under $10. Because let's face it, you can't produce anything that you don't get any profit from, okay? That just doesn't make sense. So I had never gotten any offer under $15 to print the books, but finally, after really searching, I found there's also a audio book attached to it that you heard, right, Lance?
Yeah.
Yeah. Young lady has a great voice. She's part of the team. And so it's $24.99. and that includes the book, and it includes the audio book. And the
Yes.
thing I want to say to my people is, I never
Mhm.
wanted to ask for any donations in order for the academy to, flourish.
Well, you
I know
shouldn't have
that,
to, brother.
huh?
When you're doing a good work, you shouldn't have to.
Absolutely. And
In a
so,
perfect world, you know.
yeah. So I know that when you're running a large outfit like you are, Lance, there are things that our people should be supporting you with. And so I wanted to be mindful that I wanted to have something to share with you and all the wonderful people in the family for our
Hmm.
children, that this is part of planting new seeds. Because it's funny, one of the reasons I was over at the park, my girl Sonia is a elementary school teacher there, and she started
Hmm.
using the book and the audio book, right? Man,
Right.
the kids didn't even want to use those other books anymore. But when they saw uh,
Right.
Benjamin Banneker, they were going crazy because they don't see black scientists and these type of images in their books.
Right. Their
And
soul
there's not
hungers
very many
for it.
black kids, huh?
Hmm. Their soul hungers for that,
Oh yeah, they are.
to see
She,
themselves in something historic.
yes, she said that the kids didn't even want. She was like, Neil, they don't even want to put. They want to use every day. They want to use the book. The little kids. I was like,
Yeah.
that's great. That's great. And so now I know I got proof of concept and a few other people that
Hmm.
we're gonna do a rollout October 1st. I'm actually using students to do it, and
Hmm.
because nobody want to hear an old man talking about.
Be nice if we can do something live with that. You know.
Yeah, that would be
And
good,
what I want you
and
to do is
play the audio
put the
version.
information in the comment section and send it to me directly. All they can purchase every detail, and I can put something together that I can put up as a constant reminder on different shows. You see what I mean?
Okay, I'll have
Yeah,
a QR link for you the next time.
that's
Because
even better.
when we roll out October 1st, or actually I can have a QR code for you. What's today? Monday? By Wednesday,
Hmm.
I'll send it to you.
Sure,
And that'll link, when I
that'll
get
make it
that,
really easy. Yeah,
yeah. Or maybe, Lance, you can create a QR code for us in the family.
yeah. I
Uh,
remember how to do it.
huh?
I said I remember how to do it. I just need your information to be
Okay.
able to connect it to it.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I'll provide that for you. And
All right.
yeah, so one of the things that we've done in the planting and germinating stage is we've
Hmm.
left the kids out. See, we have to
Yeah.
face something. We're not gonna always be here, okay? And one of the things that they do is they plan for every generation. I have to give them credit for this.
Hmm.
Whereas we don't plan things to stabilize what's going to happen in the future of our children moving forward. And that's not to slight our people. There are a whole lot of reasons why our people have been blocked with this, but we have to start planting new seeds somewhere. We can't continue to rely on artificial and inorganic. And the other thing I like about Sonia, you can't use any type of artificial connection in her class. She deals with kids that are six through 10, 6 through 8,
Hmm.
and then there are some kids in another classroom that she deals with. They are like preschoolers. Those are the ones that were so fascinated over the book. But so at the end of the day, we have no choice. We're going to have to embrace nature again. We have no choice, because if we don't do that, and then we continue to depend on these seeds that have been planted that manifest against our people,
Hmm.
then we're going to end up in the same place after another 60 years as we are today. So thank you,
Yes.
brother, for everything you do, man. I'll be in touch again with you on Wednesday. And
Yes. Hit me
peace and
back,
love
brother,
to you and the
please.
family.
Yes. It's always an honor and a pleasure. Thank you for coming back. You know,
Absolutely.
we got through it anyway. There's always a way when you have the will, and we're going to keep on swinging.
That's it. All right, my brother. Take care,
Keep on
brother
throwing them
Lance.
bows.
Okay, man. Take care.
All right. Take care, brother. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Much love. Yes, we are going to wrap it down right now. I'm going to get to what I was looking to get to at this time, but when he called me back, I said, well, let's try again a different way. He already went to a different location. So I said, okay, let's give it a shot. So I'll just put part 2 in front of this, and those who thought it, they say, okay, wait a second, it's the same title, 1 and 2. They'll see that we had technical difficulties and stuff. So that's not a problem. So I'm just glad that we got a chance to have him back. And I'm pushed back another hour, but I'm going to do what I do tonight and get it out there, and look forward to an early day tomorrow. And I'm always open for the topics. Just let me know. I'm not afraid to talk about anything. I dare whoever's out there, I will talk about any topic, you know, no matter how controversial it is, we're going to do it. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it down because I want to catch up on some work now. And Lance Scurv out, on to the next one. Much love. And thank you for the support of your presence and being here. It means a lot to me. We're going to keep on going until the wheels fall off. All right. Take care. Much love. All right, bye-bye.
stress to the head. I'm tryna do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Yes sir, I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they said. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. like the utmost wanted. Tryna rule the block, but don't know what goes on it. News got a story with a new take on me. Carrying out the window with the screw face on me. But I know that God love me when my burn. 95 degrees and I can't get sunburn. Wonder when your government don't make me legal. Burn the whole city if I can't be equal. Get off my please, Brad, I earned that. 400 years, how you still ain't learned that? I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I'm tryna do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Yes sir, I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they say. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Shout out to the tryna gentrify the genre. Tell them free my middle finger to your honor. In the days coming down the seconds on the timer. Goofy still trying to purchase that designer. About to buy, learn to grow my own food. Cause I don't like the look they give me in the Whole Foods. And when you stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready. But it ain't on me now, I'm limping cause my heavy. But ain't sweet, think we thin. My whole attitude on MC Ren. It's my neighborhood now, Bob, I bought that. 400 years, how you still ain't caught that? I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I'm tryna do more for the soul, way less for the bread. Yes sir, I take pack to the lung, kill the stress to the head. I see the things that they do way less than they say. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside. A war on the real, baby, look out. Cause it's a war on the real, baby, look outside.